Hello, fat stringers and low-end lovers. How the devil are you today? Okay, so today I want to talk to you about a few ways of creating your own bass lines. Just a few fun and practical ways. I'm going to mix it up a little bit here on getting some lines and some grooves for you to use in music. Now it's going to be it's not going to be a heavy lesson, but it's going to be one where you're going to have to pay particular attention. So grab a pen and some paper, maybe a coffee, a tea, a beer, an orange juice, whatever floats your boat, go get it. It's kind of handy if you have a little teeny weeny understanding of the major scale here. There's a link below in the description. Okay, you don't have to know it, but some of the terminology is kind of handy when I'm like showing you how this stuff works. A lot of people that I have taught in the past are like, I don't want to learn theory. It freaks me out. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's too mathematical. It takes the magic from music. The major scale is actually a really, really simple scale to learn, and it's probably, along with the minor, the most important scale that you ever learn. It's worth knowing this stuff. But you don't need to, so don't freak out. In addition, on this channel from now on, I'm going to be creating loads and loads of jam tracks for you to jam along to and put this stuff that I'm teaching you actually into practical use along with those jam tracks, and there's going to be a lot of those jam tracks on this channel, so I hope you benefit from them. In addition to that, there's going to be even more over on Patreon, so have a look at that if you haven't already. So we've got a simple groove in A major right there, yeah? Nice and simple, slow enough for you to practice to. Okay, so in the first instance, we know it's in A major, right? So the best thing to do is come to the 5th fret on your E string to that A note. We're going to be playing an A throughout this part, all right? So come there with your index finger. Okay, now we want to create a groove. That's the most important thing. We know that that's our note, but we just want to kind of like get a groove going. Yeah, something simple. But also, in addition to that, learn where your notes are on your fretboard, so transpose that. So we have an A there, we have an A up here. So doing it at a different octave is going to give you a completely different tone and a different sound. For example, and then we'll go up to the 15th fret, 12th fret on that A string, all A's, see? So that's simple enough. We're just playing with different parts. We're playing on a root and we're just moving it up to different parts of the board to get a different type of kind of tonality, if you will. So that's the most simplest form, right? Okay, that's the most simplest form. Let's try and add something else. Okay, so now we're going to add the octave to the actual root, all right? So playing them together alongside each other. That's the next thing. That's the next step up from playing from the root, okay? So, for example, we're playing on this A here. We can come up to the octave of that A, which is the 7th fret on the D string, right? So play the root, 7th fret of the D string, exactly the same note, but again, it's higher. The octave is also the last note of the scale, the major scale, but it's also the starting note, okay? It's the end of it, right? So let's see what we can get out of just playing with the octave and the root. Bum 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 bum. Try and start on the octave. What does that do? Like tonally. Let's try something else. Bum 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 bum. So there's already tons of things you can do with just the root and the octave, okay? So now let's add to the root. Let's add the 5th, okay? So that's the 5th part of the major scale and the minor scale. Okay, so bum, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in this instance, the 5th lays beneath. So we've got the A there, right, and the 5th of that is the E, okay, so that's the 7th fret on the A string, right there, okay, with your ring finger. So 5th fret on the E string, index finger, 7th fret on the A string, ring finger. Root octave, root octave, root octave, works anywhere, okay, if you were to come to the G, exactly the same thing, yeah, come to the F, anywhere on the board, root 5th, root 5th, root 5th, okay, I can't get that across enough, really. Now here we have just playing a root and a 5th, we have a ton of things that we can do, alright? And what I want you to have a look at is try and start, not only find the 5th there, find the equivalent somewhere else, and then mix up the lower notes with the higher notes, okay? Excuse me, right? because it gives you like a ton more choices tonally as well. Also, try and start on the 5th and see what that does as well. So let's have a look. I'm going to give you a few more examples. So just jamming on our root. Bum bum. Let's add the 5th. Bum 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 bum. Let's start on the 5th. Notice how it sounds okay. I'll explain that in a second. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so many things to do. Move it up. Bum 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 bum. Stuff like that. Okay, so another thing is try and see what happens when you lengthen notes and you shorten them. So long note, yeah, and then shorten it. And then like do the same with the 5th. Bam, 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 bam. Just keep on. You're always exploring. Okay, you're just exploring the board and what's going to go along to a certain piece of music and what sounds right. And you've got to kind of like explore. I'll try some long notes here, I'll try some short notes here, I'll try playing softer, I'll try and playing harder. All of it's going to have an effect on the bass line that you create. So it's important to like experiment as much as possible with it. Now, there's 3 questions you should be asking yourself when you're playing and creating bass lines, okay? Number 1, are you supporting and maintaining the low end? That's your job as a bass player, okay? So supporting the low end is basically playing the right notes with the tone which is supporting the low end. You don't want to be doing everything up like really high all the time because it's redundant. We want to be supporting the low as much as possible. Okay, so we've added the 5th and the octave, right? Okay, I'm going to put them all together in a minute. So now let's add the 3rd, which is the 3rd part of the major scale. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's why it's called the 3rd, because it's 3. Now this one is slightly different, as in when you play the major, the major scale or the minor scale, the root, the 5th and the octave will work on both. Okay, if someone's playing an A minor chord or a major chord, they will work either way. The 3rd is different. Okay, you have a major 3rd and minor 3rd, really. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. At the moment, that's a major 3rd. To get a minor 3rd, all you do is you flatten it, right? And to do that, you just move down 1 fret. All right. We're not going to do that today. But if you was playing to an A minor, okay, and you can hear it's already that darker sound. This is happy. I'm so happy, and this is sad. I'm so bloody sad. Yeah. Okay. So that's how they work, like tonally. But don't worry about that right now. We're just going to like focus on the major. Okay, so board wise, we have a 3rd right there. Okay, so on our 5th fret again, we're playing our A. If you go down to the A string and then go to the 4th fret, okay, with your index finger right there, that's your 3rd. Again, it applies anywhere on the fretboard. If we were to go to this B, then go down here, that's our 3rd. Go to the G, that's our 3rd. All right, that's our 3rd. That's our 3rd. All right, okay. That's a way to like kind of remember it pattern wise and shape wise. But it's best to know the board and then apply where the 3rd is actually, you know, where the scale parts are on different parts of the board, because not only is there a 3rd there, but there's obviously also a 3rd here. Yeah. So boom, 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 boom. They're everywhere. Okay. Don't forget this. These notes just repeat themselves over and over and over on the fretboard. Right. So let's have a listen to that, and what we're going to do is we're going to apply the root and the 3rd and see what we can do jam wise. Bum 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 bum. Just try all sorts of different ideas. Make the notes long. Bum, 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 bum. Shorten the notes. So, bum, 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 bum bum bum. Okay, so experiment with that with the jam track, alright? Again, there's so many things you can do there. I could sit here all day and go through this. Okay then, so just with what I've given you there's blooming infinite possibilities, to be honest with you. So we're going to add all those together, and in doing that we are now creating something which is called a major triad. Okay, a triad, that being 3 notes, as in try. Alright, the octave is there as well, but the octave is the same as the first note, so it still only applies as 1 note. So basically we're playing 4 parts here, but these 2 notes are the same, so it's called a triad. And it'd be a major triad, so bum 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 bum. A minor triad would be bum 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 bum. Yeah, so it's like there's that diminished third there, right? Okay, so let's just with those 3 notes we can create so much. All right, let's do this. I'm just making it up as I go along. I haven't practiced any of this. Bum 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 bum. So much we can do. So now try and starting on the 3rd or the 5th rather than the root. Bum 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 bum. Let's try the 3rd. Bum 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 bum. Oh man, there's so much stuff you could do there. As I said, I could just sit here all day long and just play on that A major, and just keep on going and keep on going. Now, if you were to play again, just to get this across, if you were to play the A minor, the only thing that would change, you could still use your root, your 5th, and your octave. The only thing that would change is that you flatten that 3rd. All right, so instead of playing there, you play it there. So bam, 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 bam. All right, it gives you that whole like kind of darker feel. Okay, then so we have our root, we have adding our 5th, we have adding our octave, obviously, we have adding our 3rd as well, lengthening notes, shortening notes. The last one I want to talk about isn't something which is applicable so much theoretically but visually, alright, and it's called box playing, alright, it's known in the industry as box playing, and we call a box, alright, 2 frets. So there, you can see like that's a box there, that's a box there, that's a box there. There's boxes all over the place. Basically just an easy way of saying don't play the notes in between. So box, 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 box. See? Boxes. Everywhere you look on the fretboard there's boxes. They could be 2 strings, they could be 4 strings, 3 strings, could be 4 strings. Okay, and the one I want to look at in the first instance is we're starting on the A, right? So let's apply this box here. So that's the 5th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the 5th fret on the E string, 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the A string. Yeah, so this box. Okay, and just that in itself, not applying any of the like other theoretical stuff that we've been doing. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, now the more astute amongst you will see that that's playing the flattened 3rd there, which is the minor, and I'm playing it over A major. Does it work? Well, that's for your ear to decide. Okay, so I'm just giving you the ideas of a visual box to look at here, right? And within that is lots and lots of sounds. And of course, this all applies theoretically, right? There are reasons why this stuff works, but I want to kind of like take you out the idea of the mathematical sense and just in this kind of like visual thing. So we have this box here. Okay, now I want you to look at this box. All right? Okay, so underneath the A string, the A on the E string, okay, there's another box here. So that's the 5th fret on the A string, 7th fret on the A string, 5th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the D string. Okay, now the more astute amongst you will again notice that one of those is the 5th and the other one is the octave. Well done if you have noticed that. Okay, so let's jam on that. Bum 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 bum. Let's add the other box. Okay, so there's 2 boxes there. Okie dokie, that sounded alright, didn't it? 1 box here, another box here. Let's add another box. In fact, this whole bit here is a box. Actually, this whole bit here you can see as 1 box. So, bam 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 bam. See what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm just playing in these boxes, not playing the notes in between. Okay, now let's just apply that using any of those notes within that box. So we've done this one, this one. Let's try this one. Let's try this one, and this one. Yep. Okay, let's see. I mean, now we're in infinite territory, really. Oh man, I could just go on all day. So let's now add our 3rd into that, because that's the only note we're not playing there really. We're playing the 5th, we're playing the octave, playing the root. Yeah, okay. So now let's add our major 3rd into it. Oops. Okie dokie. So that I like that kind of like that little thing. So all it is then is once you know that, got the ideas of root, 5th, 3rd, octave, some box playing on top. It's then applying techniques to that. So hammer-ons, you know, stuff like that. Just works really, really well. And so yeah, all I did there was I was just transposing this 3rd up here. So instead of playing bam bam bam, I was just going bam bam bam. So that's root, and we're playing that box playing as well. So some funky things you can do there as well. So it's about what the music is telling you and what the music is actually saying to you. I mean, what we're playing here isn't funky, really, is it? It's like a acousticy da da da. But if it was a funky beat or funky stuff going on in the background, then you could apply this to funk, if that makes sense, right? So, for example, we have our box here. Okay, this is one of our boxes, isn't it? That we decided on. Just take the root, take this note here, which is the 5th fret on the D string with your index finger. It's a G, right? So that's the same as that note there. Okay, just play that and then play the octave. Right, root and then octave. See how it works. all just using that box playing. Don't forget, you can transpose those boxes down to other places on the board. And if you're going to do something in G, the whole thing applies there. So just do that box thing, and then theoretically apply your third, your fifth, and your octave. There's so many things you can do, and that just opens up the whole board, to be honest with you. So again, just to reiterate, so we've got the root, fifth, octave, the third, and then just kind of like visually consider the this box playing thing. Yeah, the most important thing to do in creating your own bass lines is play and play and play and play again, and then just find pieces of music like these jam tracks. This is the reason I'm going to add so much of these jam tracks to this channel, because it gives people the opportunity to experiment outside of a musical environment. So yeah, I hope that helped you in some way, my friends. I hope it did, and it'll be interesting to see what you get out of it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.